Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a review on the Tyldwick Tarot created by Neil Lavelle and is a self-published deck. So here is the front of the box. I hope that you can see clearly. And actually this shows the full card, and here is the back of the box. This is the world card. Actually, you can find all the images of the cards from the website. I'm going to put a link below. So I'm not going to show all the 70k cards in this video, but I will show you some of my favorite cards and offer my own interpretations of some of the cards. And also I will talk about how I feel about the energy of this deck, and I will share some tips on using this tarot deck. So the keywords I will use to describe this deck is antique objects from around the world, and different objects representing different cultures, museums, symmetrical interior styling, English country houses, and English garden, subtleties, neatness, tidiness. And yes, those are the keywords that I can use to describe this deck. I hope that you have a big picture of the images of the cards. Actually, when I first open up the box and I look at all the cards, and I feel that this is a very English deck, like the deck that I choose to represent England. I will choose this deck because you actually feel the energy that is conveying some kind of value of British people. And actually you can feel like you are walking through the English country houses, because the images show the snapshots of different corners in English gardens, in the English country houses. And then also you will feel that you are being taken to walk through the British Museum, because actually you can find different objects representing different cultures from all around the world, from all different cultures. And so this how I get the feel, the English feel from this deck. And also it's because you can feel the subtleties when you are communicating with this deck, because you know some decks will try to convey a message like in your face, obvious, right? But this deck is not that kind of obvious in your face kind of message. This deck is trying to convey in a very gentle, in a very subtle way when conveying the messages. And so I suggest that at the beginning of working with this deck, the best way is to pick 1 or 3 cards, and then you go to sleep. And then after nice sleeping, wake up in the morning, you come up with a message very clearly. It's because this deck's images are not very clear. It's like taking you into the subconscious mind, helping you to tap into the subconsciousness, and then it's like creating a dream for you. You know, when you are in a dream, you kind of understand the surrounding and the feelings and emotions, and you kind of have this kind of feeling vaguely, right? It's not very clearly presented to you. And sometimes you have some kind of telepathic communication with the characters in your dream. And so this deck is like taking you in that dream state between reality and between the dream state. And then, so when you look at the cards and you go to sleep and then you wake up in the morning, you come up with a clearer idea, clearer messages. And yes, it is very British because the British people usually communicate in a very subtle way. They call it tag. I understand. They really call it tag. And of course, I do not wish to stereotype anyone, but then most of the British people I meet would like to communicate in the indirect, subtle way. And then later on, when you understand them, when you have a build up a long understanding or build up a solid foundation or friendship with them, they may the character may come up to you later. So it is a very this deck reminds me every bit of England, of British people. So it's really good deck because it is created by English people, I believe. And but then I find out that there's a little bit of the lack of diversity in this deck. It's because actually I can find the interior styling all include symmetrical interior styling, just like this card here. You can find a lot of cards that has this kind of design, this kind of arrangement. I hope that yes, it is in focus now. So this is the mantelpiece, the mantle here, and you can find the focus point here, and then developed on the both sides of the focus point here, you can find the same object, both sides of the same object. You can find it on top of the mantelpiece, and then same object, you know, same bunch of flowers with same color. So you can find a lot of this kind of image with the same type of interior styling from this deck. I have count already, totally 33 more or less, this 33 cards with the same interior styling, because the creator like this kind of symmetrical, very formal, very neat, very safe presentation of the mantelpiece. And it's all reminds me of British, because the British people are indirect and at the same time very conventional, conservative. They're very traditional. So I can understand why they use symmetrical interior styling a lot. But then, you know, to break out from the traditional things, sometimes it's good to use asymmetrical design, right? So asymmetrical interior styling is like you put one object as the focal point, and then you kind of use odd numbers of objects and then decorate your mantelpiece. It's like you try to create a flow for your mantelpieces. It's unconventional, you know. But yeah, that's why I see that this deck is kind of sticking to the safe side, because everything is presented in a symmetrical way. Is kind of safe deck. But of course, there's some kind of very new idea from this deck. Why? It's because you will not find one human being. You cannot find a character, human character, in this deck except one or two cards. I remember just one or two cards you can find human activity or human being in the card image. And for the court cards, actually you can find the photo portraits of human from the court cards. Other than that, you cannot find one human character. So this is the new idea. The unconventional way is presented in this way. The conventional way. Conventional way is presented in the way that is everything is arranged in the even numbers and also in the symmetrical way. And that's why when you are using this deck, I suggest that you draw out, you put the card in the layout of odd numbers, like 3-card draw, 7-card draw, or 9-card draw. Use the odd number layout of the spread to kind of like balance out the symmetrical design of this deck. Why? Because symmetrical design require even numbers of objects, right? So to balance out this energy, I suggest you use the odd number layout for the spread of your tarot card reading. And then the other thing I find out is that everything is very neat. You seldom find the object is being upset. You know, like for this card, you can find the soldiers standing neatly on top of the box. This one. And then you can find the bottle. This is the perfume bottle, neatly arranged. Nothing is being knocked off, nothing is being upset. And also, even though this card is depicting the decaying, the decaying garden from the backyard, when you closely examine the pot, the flower pots, you actually find out that every pot is very perfect. You cannot find cracks, you cannot find any imperfection from the pots. I hope that you can see clearly. I hope that, yes, now you can see clearly. You see, nothing is being knocked off, nothing is upset. Everything is arranged neatly. And then another image here, all the cups are neatly arranged inside the cupboard. So that's why I kind of feel that when you are conducting a tarot reading using this deck, try to use the unconventional way. Try to mix all the cards, like create some kind of messiness when you are laying out the cards, because the messiness of your layout can balance out the neatness, the tidiness of these images. It helps you to create a balance of your tarot reading. And I even create a tarot spread called the bowling spread, right? Because I see that it reminds me of the bowling, right? You can see, they are neatly arranged, they are lining up. It's like playing bowling. So I create a bowling spread for this deck. And then this deck is opulent. I find out it's opulent because it's a limited edition of 2,000 copies, and it's gilt edged. It shuffles smoothly actually. And this is the back of the card. So yes, that's how I feel about this deck. Now shall we look at some of my favorite cards? So here I will show you some of my favorite cards. And yes, this one is the Tower. Actually, when you look closer, you can find the Tower of Babel here from the biblical reference. And then on both sides of the panel, you can find masks from different culture. For example, this one is the Japanese mask, and the other one, it seems like from the Aboriginal cultures or Indonesian culture. And this one is from Rome or Greek. And yes, so here you can see different objects from different cultures. And then sometimes you will understand different mythologies. For example, this card here, this shows the Tin Tan Atlas holding up the sky, holding up Earth, supporting the Earth. So this one is from the Greek mythology, is Atlas from Tin Tan. And then you can also find, the ancient Greek pitcher or urn. This is the water pitcher, I guess. So you look closer, this is from the ancient Greeks. And so this one is the Wheel of Fortune. I feel that is quite nice, quite special, because you can see the water coming out from the mouth. And then water means emotion. Even though you put out a lot of emotions doing what you do, and then this water coming out and drop on this wheel, whether it will move or not, sometimes it's not up to the water, Since this is not very strong water, this is just like a slow movement of water. So it still requires outside external energy for this wheel to move. So it explains the Wheel of Fortune, Lady Fortune has to help as well. When you give out a lot of emotional input or emotional efforts to create something, Lady Fortune needs to help in the process of manifestation as well. And then you can see from here, this shows reminds me of the Mouth of Truth, which you can find in modern Rome as well. So this one is like the Mouth of Truth from Rome. And I like this card because I feel that when you speak something, you speak the truth, or you speak the truth that you know about, it always carries some weight, just like a lot of coins here, a lot of pentacles, because when you speak the truth, the energy will carry some weight. And also your soul aligned with what you say, because this soul alignment with the truth that you speak will create a lot of energy. This kind of energy align with your soul. So it's like everything you say is like pentacles, it's like coin. It carries a lot of weight as well as the values, because the coin, when you put the coins, when you put a gold coin, gold pentacles into fire, they will remain gold as well. It will not break. So when always speak the truth. And also you can see the grapes here on both sides. The grapes, actually, grapes. And also you can find the the bottle, not bottle, is like the bucket to create wine, right? So grapes create wine. But to create very, very nice wine, it requires time. The longer the wine is put into the buckets, the longer the wine is being processed, is being pressed by time, the more pure the wine will become, right? So it's like this card encourage you to speak the truth, because why? First, you do not need to worry about the lie being discovered. When you speak the truth, it's the truth. It remains truth, even though the time will test the truth, right? And other thing is that with time, your truth will become like wine. It will become very pure and will become very tasty. So it is like truth will always stand the test of time, just like wine. Very good wine will stand the test of time. I like this card a lot. And another card. Here, this card challenged me to think about freedom. You know, this white pigeon here is like the representation of freedom and purity. You know, it escaped from this cage. But then, when you look at this card as a whole, you can understand that here is the wooden floor, right? You know, this is the small space. And then when this pigeon breaks free from the cage, there's another huge space to contain this pigeon. It's like smaller space, bigger space. We can see this is a room that contains this pigeon, right? So how do you define freedom? You know, when you do not feel free in your heart, when your soul does not feel free, no matter where you go and what you do, and you will always long for more freedom. It's like, you know, even though you have a lot of money or you have financial freedom, you have a lot of freedom to do the job you like, you can travel around the world. And then if you do not feel the emotional satisfaction, later on you will ask to go to another planet, like you would like to visit Moon, you would like to visit Mars, you would like to visit another planet to travel in the space, right? So how much freedom do you need actually when you do not feel contented in your own body, when you do not feel contented with your own soul? You will forever seeking freedom. Okay, the real freedom comes from within, with the connection with the love source, with God, with higher power. That love will give you a sense of freedom, a sense of peace. When you do not feel peace, you will always ask for more and more freedom. And this is the human nature. You always ask for more freedom. You always ask for more money or more different variety of people, a lot of things. So to break free of the wheel of life, to break free from this wheel of mundane world, you have to find your own freedom. The freedom is coming from the freedom with your soul, the freedom to communicate with higher power. That may be the real, true meaning of freedom. So this card always ask me to think a lot about the philosophical question. I like this card a lot. And yes, I hope that you enjoy my interpretations of the cards and this tarot review. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.